Salaki brothers. But reading on, it says this is really bad news because food prices are really absurdly high. In some cases, people are paying as much as full shopping carts full of food as they did for used vehicles in the old days, and that's bad, man. This shows how this place is declining like crazy, man, throughout the years. That this is the end of this man's kingdom. All right. Uh, I wish that I was exaggerating, but I am not. Unfortunately, food prices are only going to get higher because farmers and ranchers are being hit extremely hard from coast to coast. There it is, a map how bad the droughts are. It says, for example, it is being reported that wheat farmers in Kansas will reap their smallest harvest in more than 60 years. Kansas has been called the country breadbasket. Now, wheat farmers in the state will reap their smallest harvest in more than 60 years. This will go directly down the chain from farmers to consumers at the grocery store. Consumers at the grocery store. Kansas normally produces more wheat than any other U.S. state by the whole margin, but now the harvest in the state will be the smallest that we have seen since 1957. For the last 2 years, a drought has withered a lot of crops. Now this year, the wheat harvest in Kansas is shaping up to be Salakia, the smallest since 1957. That year, the Eisenhower administration intentionally suppressed wheat production. There were 166 million people living in the United States in 1957. Today, there are 300, Salakia, 166 million, Salakia, if I pronounced that wrong. And today there are 331 million people. So the population has grew dramatically. More mouths to feed. All right, with less crops. So who is going to volunteer to give up eating wheat this year so that others can consume what they normally do? At the point things are so bad that we are being told that the flour mills in Kansas will likely have to buy wheat growing in Eastern Europe. All right, and how is the wheat going to get here? Because I'm not really sure about the whole situation with Europe, but Europe stopped buying. A few European countries stopped buying Russian gas, all right, or whatever, and it takes diesel or whatever. I believe, if I ain't mistaken, to power those boats to get over here, to get overseas. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it takes diesel for those boats that ship from from the west from the east to the west. I believe they're powered by diesel, all right, and they're already having fuel shortage problems due to the fact that a lot of those European countries stopped buying Russia's gas, and then the Biden administration, America had to send a large number of their reserves over there to them to help them out. All right, and you're not hearing anything about that in the news. Can't forget about that. It's like that ain't going nowhere. That problem's still out there. All right, so that's gonna be another problem for them. How is it gonna get over here? All right. It's going to cost more for them. Either way, it's going to cost you more because it's going to cost a lot of money to ship it over here anyway. All right. Kansas flour mills will likely have to buy wheat grown in Eastern Europe. For decades, Kansas has led the nation in wheat production. The U.S. led the world in wheat exports as well. This is a major problem. So this is going to affect everywhere, not just here in Babylon, everywhere. All right. This is a major problem. But can we all just eat more corn instead? And the answer to that is no. I did a video through the Spirit and Power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I did a video about that the other day. Now the droughts are affecting corn, Salakia. All right. After all, corn is already in thousands upon thousands of different products that the American consumer on a regular basis. Well, it turns out that corn production is being greatly affected by droughts as well. The following comes from the Newsweek article entitled "Corn Prices Set to Soar After Midwest Hit by the Worst Drought in 30 Years." And that's the one I did a video on through the Spirit and Power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. I did a video on the other day. And as usual, dry May, Salaki, in dry in the dry in the it's like in May, the Midwest has raised concerns over the year corn corn crops in the Corn Belt. The region stretched from the panhandle of Texas up to North Dakota and east to Ohio, which dominates the country's corn production. which they call the the Corn Belt. All right. For a little time, I've been warning that the Dust Bowl conditions would return to the middle of the country, and now we are here, right? Because especially over probably like the last 5 years, um, with blizzards and things like that happening, the Most High sending blizzards and things like that. That this has been building up because they do again with those blizzards and certain and fires and things like that on the east, on the west coast, and bad droughts in the Midwest and all of that. It was just building up to this moment that we're in right now. Now we're about to see, all right, the effects of it, of all those blizzards, how they got behind on the harvest and so on and so forth. And now we're about to see the effects of it. And then Most High is bringing this drought now. All right, so yeah, man, the shit's only gonna get worse, man. All right, from here, a lot of people are gonna starve to death, man, here in Babylon the Great. All right, and yeah, pretty much that's speaking about the article I read the other day. All right, I focus on the wheat. Let me pause it real quick to pull up the importance of wheat.